Hi guys, this is me and welcome back to my channel Storytale. Today after a long time I have finally read a book from an Indian author, and this is the Indian author that I didn't actually know about. I have discovered it for the first time. This is the first time that I'm reading her work, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really enjoyed her writing. The book that I'm talking about is A Plain Story by Anmol Malik. I am really impressed by the cover of this book. I think it is very pretty. I'm really in love with the color theme, and I really love this Eiffel Tower. I think this is a very beautiful cover, and I think I was really impressed by that only. I've been trying to read more of Indian authors, and I have been looking for good stories for a while now. The problem with me is that there are good Indian authors, but the problem is most of them are writing around Hindu mythology. And after Shiva trilogy, I think I've had quite enough of it. I do not want to read more of it. I really loved the world building and everything, but that is not a genre that I actually love. I did love the Shiva trilogy. It was a very good series, but I do not think that I want to go or I want to read more into stories that are revolved around mythology, because I did enjoy the original mythology that we already have. I just do not like the modern stories around it anymore. There are many books that are coming around it, like there's one book which is releasing very soon, which is Ashwadhama versus Parshuram. So again, that is not something that I want to read. That is not something that I want to dive into. When I read the synopsis of this book, I was kind of intrigued by the whole characters and the premise that it was set in. So I really wanted to give this book a try. And the best thing is that it does not have many pages. So it was very easy for me to read this in a one go. And I did finish this book in a one go. It was such an easy read for me, and it did keep me hooked. If you have not read this book, then this is a spoiler-free review. You do not have to worry about me spoiling it for you guys. The story is about Dev and Tara, who meet on their flight to Paris. They are going to Paris in order to break the marriage of their exes. Tara is a straight up girl. She is more uptight. She is currently in fear of losing her job at a publishing house. And Dev is a modern architecture kind of a guy. He wants to build furniture which is easy to use and which can do many things and does not require much space. And his company is called Matchbox. But the company did not actually work, and it did go bankrupt, and so did he. Both of them were cheated on by their exes, but still they want them back. And that is why when they got invitation to attend their wedding, they plan to actually break it. The story is based around a factual incident, at least that is what is told in the book. I have not actually researched it. So it is when a volcano erupted in Iceland, which kind of disrupted the airlines. That is why many people were stuck at the airport. I do not actually remember that news, but anyway, I think that was a very great premise to base their story. I really love that concept and everything. The moment that I started this book, I was really impressed with everything. I really love the writing style, which I did not like in Chetan Bhagat book. I do not like his writing style. I think most of the time it sounds very childish, but that is not the case for this book. It was very well written. The plot, the story, the characters, everything is just to the point. There's not even a single scene in this book that is boring or dull. I really enjoyed every single minute that I was reading this book, and it is very rare for me to actually finish a book in one go, and I was really surprised and really amazed how quickly I read it and how much I really enjoyed it. To be honest, when I bought this book up, I did not have any high hopes. I was not expecting much, but it did surpass most of my expectation, and I really enjoyed the time that I had with this book. Like I said, I did not know much about the author of the book. Whatever I got is from the back of this book, and there's this review from Hrithik Roshan that is written right here. Okay, right here, and I was like surprised. Okay, Hrithik Roshan reviewed it. Then at the back of the book I read that she used to write scripts for the Yash Raj films, so I guess I do not know, he must know her from there or something, I do not know, so that is why he read it or something. But anyway, like he said, it is unputdownable, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was the same for me. The characters of the book are amazing too. I really enjoyed Tara and Dev. I really love their chemistry. Both of them are adorable together. Of course, it does fall in the same category of opposites attract, because Dev is more outspoken. He's more, light-hearted kind of a guy, and Tara is more like uptight, she's more into following rules and everything, she's more into get worried about things and everything. So of course that is the case here too, like the opposites attract. Both of them did not like each other at the first, and they slowly start to fall in love with each other, they become friends and everything. So again, that is one of bit of a cliche, but anyway, that is not a bother for me, because both of their chemistry was so well done. I really enjoyed every scenes that they had. Most of the books that you get are only Tara and Dev, and again that does not become boring. It is very interesting because both the characters are interesting. This is a very light-hearted book. It has many funny scenes. It has many surprises, to be honest. Like, you'll think, okay, this scene is gonna happen this way, but then something else happens. There's like many funny scenes, even though there's sometimes that you'll be able to predict, okay, they are saying this way, then this is gonna happen. Okay, sometimes it can be a little bit predictable, but there are most of the time there are many surprises too. This book is like a roller coaster ride, and it is a very fun, enjoyable ride. Now, without wasting any more time, let's go to the like and dislike section. The first thing that I liked about this book is the writing style. Everything is represented so well in this book that I was actually very surprised. Each dialogue delivery actually lands perfectly. Each laugh lands perfectly. There are many surprise elements that actually works the best. Each end of the chapters are represented well. When the things change, they are represented very well. The writing style is so good. Everything is so well written. The characters, the scene, the serious scenes, everything ties up very well together. I cannot show you anything of this book, but when you read it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is from a third person point of view, and with that we get the mindset of both Tara and Dev at the same time. So I actually enjoyed that. The third person actually also comments on both of them from time to time, so that was very funny but too. Each scene end with a very nice writing or a dialogue, which I actually enjoyed. It has a very nice way of ending a chapter or each phase of a chapter. There are also bits and pieces of Hindi in this book, and it has a translation at the back of this book too. Like I said, the story and the plot is written so well and so well represented that you're gonna be impressed too. The second thing that I like about this book are the characters. Both Dev and Tara are very relatable, and I especially enjoyed how much obsessed with food Dev was and how he eventually made Tara a foodie too. I actually enjoyed that. I really love the plane ride that they had in the first chapter of the book. I love their banter. I really love their chemistry and everything. Both of them, even though had very silly fights and everything, but still I really enjoyed both of their love story. Their friendship was something that I really liked reading in this book, and I actually loved how they eventually fall in love, like slowly and steadily, even though they were hung up on their exes, but still you can see how they're falling in love with each other, even though it happened in a matter of few days or something. But still I really enjoyed their love story. Even the supporting characters of Angha and Matt, who are actually their exes, they are written well too. They are not that much cliched. Their love story too was something that I actually liked. I mean, even both of them cheated on each other's partner, still both of them actually fell in love with each other, and their love was not something fake or something they're just doing it for money or something. They actually described how they actually fell in love with each other. I really loved there was this discussion between Anaga and Dev, and how Anaga was telling him that she eventually fell in love with Matt, and how she used to think that she was a gold digger, but when it comes to Matt, she does not actually think about money or anything. I really love that character dynamic of Anaga and Matt too. I think their characters were written well too. The third thing that I liked about this book is how fresh it feels. There's nothing new in this book that you have not actually read or seen before, but still the way the author has written, you're gonna actually feel that you're reading a very new story. The whole premise of this book, the couple meeting at the airport and then they get stranded at the airport where they only have each other, even though it's not unique, but still the take of the author on this is very fresh. The fact that she chose a true incident to actually base her story on, I was really impressed by that. Did not even remember about the incident, to be honest, but I think that was a very smart take on this. Maybe there are many books on that, but this is the first time that I'm reading about that. Plus the laugh and the laughters that we get in this book again are just amazing. There are many scenes that I've actually laughed out loud because they were so funny. Especially there's this scene with a cat. I mean, there's not actual cat, but there's some reference to a cat and the name of it, so that is something that was very funny. There are many other funny scenes that once you are gonna read, you're gonna realize. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I think you need to check this book out yourself to know how actually funny and light-hearted this book is. I don't have many dislike when it comes to this book, but I actually have one. Throughout the book, the author tries to be not cliche. She has tried to be more self-aware, because there are many times that she's referring, okay, this is a cliche, okay, this is a cliche, but I'm not doing that and I'm not doing that. So it is trying to be self-aware, but again, the more you try, the more you become, right? So even though it tries to be not a cliche, it is most of the time, especially when it comes to the characters. The thing about most of the books are that the characters are always perfect. I mean, at the beginning of the book, they are not good at something, or they are not successful or something, but by the end of the book, they become a successful person. They are so talented that everyone is impressed by them, and there's nothing wrong that they can do. They're just perfect in their craft. So the same thing happens with Tara and Dev too. Both of them are so good at what they do that even though their previous job or something was a failure, they're gonna be a very big success in the future. That is always how the ending works, and that is again a part of a cliche. There are another few scenes which was cliche. There was one scene at the airport when Tara was actually requesting airport staff to actually announce something. So that was a very cliche part. I do not think any girl or boy actually does that. I don't think so. And there's again the ending was a little bit cliche too. Again, you're trying to be more self-aware and cliche free, but let's be honest, every book is a little bit cliche. There's not many unique stories in this book. Everyone has a little bit of cliche, and I do not think cliche is a bad thing. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes it makes the story perfect and work. So I do not mind that. Anyway, like I've said 500 times, I really enjoyed the story, the book and everything. That is why I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. If you're looking for a light-hearted, rom-com, funny kind of a book, I think this is the best choice. I highly recommend it. Do let me know in the comments down below if you have any recommendation for me of an Indian author to read, because I was really impressed by this one. And I will see you next time. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye.